The following is a presentation of The Day.
Winter can be harsh, cold, and punishing. It is in the dead of winter that we turn up the heat. New London girls basketball coach Tammy Millsaps demands defensive intensity. Her Whalers like to pressure, run, and make life miserable for opponents. Senior guards Jemiah Beto, Zanisha Croft, and Olivia Good are tenacious. Serenity Lancaster, a freshman force. And Nalise Dudley, one of the best players in the league. This Whaler team is thinking championship as they head to the X. The Waterford Lancers have won 8 of 11, are 4-1 at home, and are playing like a team thinking upset. Milena Walker is a Player of the Year candidate, polished and dangerous. Mia Chaponi is an unselfish playmaker, and Natalie Lombardi a fearless leader. They will need to protect the basketball against the relentless Whalers. Outside, a winter wonderland. Inside, it's the 10-win Whalers and the 8-win Lancers, border rivals with lots to prove, ready to heat up the X. It's an ECC showdown, and we have all the action live on game day on theday.com.
A winter wonderland outside, a crowd filtering in inside as we get ready to heat it up at the X. The New London High School Whalers travel to the Waterford Lancers in an old-fashioned ECC girls basketball showdown, and we've got all the action live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Scient Federal Credit Union. Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, and it's time to turn over to girls basketball, our first opportunity to look at these two teams. A New London team playing really good basketball under Tammy Millsaps. Waterford a little thin right now, but with possibly the premier player in the league in Milena Walker.
Yeah, 8-5 versus 10-2, Casey. You talked about second-year coach Tammy Millsaps. Program finally started to get it, rebuild a little bit, and kids are clicking and playing very well. They're only 5 or 6 deep, but the kids are on the floor. They hustle, they play defense, they scrap. That's that New London style that they're used to, you know. So they're starting to click. And for Waterford, 8-5, lost to New London, went by 6, I think it was, 57-51, back in the first game of the season. So they've been playing good basketball too, but they're a little short-staffed tonight here at the X.
Yeah, Mia Chaponi, their point guard, out tonight with an illness, and, you know, she'll be back soon. And, you know, when you're playing somebody as relentless as New London, you need all the ball handlers you can get.
Yeah.
You certainly need a senior. I want to congratulate Mia. She committed to play college basketball at Endicott, so that's a big deal. The Gulls. And, you know, she was looking forward to being on game day, but instead she's going to be home cheering on her team. They're not deep. Neither is New London. So,
right.
You know, the little things can matter tonight.
Well, that's what I talked to Coach Sullivan about before the game. What are the things you need to work on to win tonight? And she said, well, we got to take care of the basketball. We don't have our point guard tonight, so we got to be careful with the rock. We got to score. We got to rebound. We got to play defense. So all the little things add up to make the big things happen. So I think maybe ball pressure, I think handling the basketball, and just keeping the turnovers to a minimum. Key for the Lancers tonight. You
know, New London's had a great history of girls basketball. Certainly, you know, over the past few years, they've won championships, multiple head coaches, and you know, things got a little unsettled when Holly Misto left and when she retired from coaching.
Called the hiccup year.
It really was, but they couldn't have found a better replacement than Tammy Millsaps. Here's a woman who comes from a program at Capital Prep where not only did she win state championships, including one over New London, that was a national program. She took that team all over the country, and her style is a perfect match for what New London likes to do. She is up in your face. They are up in your face. Defense, pressure, 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 and she wants those kids to learn how to grind in a way that, you know, is unique to what they can do, and I think she's got them headed in the right direction.
Tough, winning pedigree. 3 words to describe the coach, the style, and that's been New London's pedigree too under Holly Misto. Again, the hiccup year, but tough winning pedigree. And again, they're going to play good defense. They're going to try to turn you over. They're going to scrap a little bit and knock down some shots. They're 10-2 on the year, and they are clicking at the right time in the ECC.
Well, they've got 3 really solid senior guards in Olivia Good and Jemiah Beto and Zanisha Croft, but they've got a versatile player like Nalise Dudley who can do a little bit of everything. She's arguably as good a player as there is in the league. And then when you want to calm things down, what better way to go than Serenity?
Serenity Lancaster,
and Serenity now.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring in a player, bring in a Lancaster. Her father, Gary Lancaster, one of the all-time greats, graduated with me in 1989 from New London, was the all-time New London scoring leader till this guy named Tyson Wheeler came along and beat it. But Serenity plays a lot like her dad. She looks a lot like her dad. And she's got that Lancaster streak. So what better way if you're building a program going that way? So you're going to see a very unique New London team. 3 senior guards, a couple of big posts. And on the Waterford side, you're going to really need to look for Natalie Lombardi. She's going to have a bulk of the ball handling on top of what she's been doing so far.
Going to have to step up. And when players are out, Casey, other players got to step up. So curious to see who steps up for the Lancers tonight.
Well, let's go listen to the voice of the Waterford Lancers, Mr. Andy Walker.
A few reminders before we begin tonight's contest. Please remember to mask up. Masks are required at all times inside the school building, and remember to do your best at social distancing. Please make sure your vehicle is not parked curbside along any road inside the Waterford High School complex, or you will be at risk of being ticketed or towed. Restrooms are located across the hallway from the entrance to the field house, and please take note of emergency exits which are located at each corner of the field house. The ECC, along with the CIAC, has made a commitment to promote sportsmanship in all athletic contests. Please show respect for all players, coaches, game officials, and spectators. Anyone violating our standards of sportsmanship will be warned once. Continued violations may lead to removal from the contest. Cheer for your team and not against your opponent. And as important today as ever, please respect the game. And now for tonight's starting lineups for this ECC matchup. New London enters the game with an overall record of 10 wins, 3 losses, led by head coach Tammy Millsaps, assisted by C.J. Parker. And now for the visiting Whalers. At guard, a senior wearing number 3, Zanisha Croft. At guard, a senior wearing number 1, Olivia Good. At forward, a junior wearing number 4, Nalise Dudley. At guard, a senior wearing number 2, Jemiah Beto. And at center, a freshman wearing number 15, Serenity Lancaster. The New London Whalers. Waterford enters the game with an overall record of 8 wins, 5 losses, led by head coach Caitlyn Sullivan, assisted by Jill Long and Bern Macca Barnes. And now for your Lady Lancers. At forward, a 5'9" junior by way of Great Neck Elementary via Liverpool, England, wearing number 5, Julia Knowles. At guard, a 5'6" senior by way of Great Neck Elementary via Naples, Italy, wearing number 25, Natalie Lombardi. At forward, a 5'8" senior by way of Quaker Hill Elementary via Athens, Greece, wearing number 11, Sophia Hathaway. At guard, a 5'8" senior captain by way of Oswegatchie Elementary via Frankfurt, Germany, wearing number 12, Izzy Frazier. And at forward, a 6' senior captain from the hills of Quaker via the Highlands of Scotland, wearing number 40, Millie Walker. Your Waterford Lady Lancers.
Oh, the great Andy Walker. No one does it any better.
He's got some pipes.
I wish I could have been announced just one time in my day by Andy Walker.
Yeah, sure.
Now let's meet the players in tonight's game all the way through.
Julia Knowles, Great Neck Elementary.
Izzy Frazier, Oswegatchie Elementary.
Sophia Hathaway, Quaker Hill Elementary.
Emma Smathers, Blessed Sacrament School.
Brielle Kenny, St. Joe's in New London. Natalie Lombardi, Great Neck Elementary. Mia Troney, Great Neck Elementary.
Kate Smathers, Blessed Sacrament School.
Melina Walker, Quaker Hill Elementary.
Olivia Good, IDCS.
Jemiah Bedell, CB Jennings Elementary School.
Zanasia Croft, Nathan Hale.
Nalise Dudley, John Moriarty.
Brittany Ville, St. Joseph School.
Kiani Olga, Jennings Elementary.
Italia Sauls, RMMS.
Darielis Arnold, Jennings Elementary.
Serenity Lancaster, Winthrop Elementary School.
The Day is committed to giving our readers the best in sports coverage. Our staff dedicates itself to the in-depth stories, photos, columns, and video content our readers know and trust. Subscribe today to receive full access to all our coverage. theday.com/subscribe. Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more.
Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, we provide solutions to all of your dental needs. Your smile is our top priority. Visit us today at waterforddentalhealth.com and by Core Plus Credit Union. Love the home you're in? Well, borrow based on the finished value of your home before your renovations begin. Apply today at coreplus.org. Ready to tip it off here at the X, New London and Waterford girls basketball. The Sports Doctor, we're going to find out right away in the first 2 minutes of this game, how can Waterford withstand the pressure of New London High School?
That's a good point without their starting point guard. First 3 or 4 minutes could set the tone. New London looking to get off to a hot start on the road. Casey, they want to play with the lead, put a little pressure on Waterford. Waterford trying to show them that, that first game of the season, we've improved since then. We're 8-5. We're on our home floor. It's a big-time matchup tonight. We're ready to roll.
We're going to tip it off. Serenity Lancaster will jump for New London in the resplendent green and gold of the Whalers and the home whites with blue of the Lancers, and Melina Walker will tip it off for Waterford. Lancaster wins the tip, and the Whalers will have the first possession. Zanasia Croft, point guard for the Whalers.
A little 2-3 matchup zone here.
First open look three of the ball game is knocked down and buried. Jemiah Bedell with the first basket of the ball game. Other direction, straight little man-to-man, and great hands. Olivia Good, so quick with the ball. In the lane, can't get it to go. Rebound, can't get it to go. Back-to-back looks from Julia Knowles, and it'll stay Waterford basketball.
Waterford looking to attack, Casey. Their first possession down. A little drive and kick. Nothing there. Take the ball into the paint.
I mean, there is no better matchup.
Size advantage with Walker up front for the Lancers.
Well, there's no better matchup when you're going to see Walker guarded predominantly by Dudley. That's two of the best. There's a mismatch as Walker got a good feed. She had Good on her, and that's a mismatch there. But Walker, you're not going to find a more polished player than Melina Walker.
All the footwork, the drop step, the little send in with the right hand.
Dudley, outstanding player. Walker, I think as skilled as they come. And so those two tonight are going to be very interesting. Walker's going to have to pull out every trick she learned in the backyard of the Sutton and Walker basketball games in order to, come away with one tonight.
What to do with the basketball when you get it down on the block. And, Walker's one of those kids that can certainly deliver. Strong footwork to turn, the right-hand delivery. Dudley on her right now, Casey. That's a good matchup for Waterford.
You saw Waterford run a pick and roll last time to try to get a switch, which they did. Ball on the court, tie up, and it'll be Whaler basketball. So the first time Waterford ran, they ran that pick and roll high screen to try to get a mismatch switch because Dudley, they want to get her off of one.
Right, and I think that time Coach Millsap will take that. They'll take Walker putting the ball on the floor from the top of the circle. We're going to double her, try to turn it over, and advantage in London that time.
There's an open look for Croft. It's going to be short, nice box out. And Frazier, the other direction for the Lancers. Walker, pump fake, pulls up. Back iron a little strong, and good work by Lombardi, but it's off her fingertips in the Whaler basketball.
Caitlyn Sullivan, our first year at Waterford. Encouraging open shots, let it fly. Get some good looks and take them.
Yeah, Waterford's going to need some easy baskets in this one. There's a good pass to Lancaster, but it's off her hands. loose, and she'll come up with it is Dudley. Dudley will go to the line to shoot 2. That was a little sloppy, but the ball fortuitously landed in Dudley's hands, and she'll get a couple of free throws for her efforts.
Dudley at the line for the Whalers shooting 2.
Dudley is a junior.
Lefty, too, by the way.
Sure. Good looking out. Yeah.
Love those lefties. One more for Dudley. And then I'm going to make an observation in a moment here, Sports Doctor, and see what you think after Dudley shoots her second free throw, because I've been watching an interaction, and I want to get the Sports Doctor's take on it. 2 are absolutely true. Didn't hit the rim on either of them for Dudley. Lombardi being guarded by Good. Walker hounded. And there's a step in. Dudley will come in off the steal from Beto. Dudley all the way, and she's going to get an offensive foul drawn on her. Great job by Walker coming back and getting position. I have seen in the early going Coach Tammy Millsaps very invested in Serenity Walker. And I think it's one of those things where she sees greatness in this freshman.
That's Serenity Lancaster.
Yeah. I think she sees greatness in the freshman, and she's riding the freshman a little bit because no time for you to be a freshman. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, listen, you're on the floor. It's a big game. We need you.
I think she's looking at it for like a 4-year perspective. Like, this is a talent, and I got to make it work. 3-pointer back front of the rim, no good, and there's Dudley bringing it down for the Whalers.
Second chance scoring opportunities again for New London.
Another open 3. Got it! Jemiah Beto with her second triple of the game.
Got to rebound the basketball on defensive end if it's going to kill you. If not.
Dudley and Walker, great matchup up out on the perimeter. Frazier throws it into the corner, dump down. Walker with a little jump hook fall away. You gotta like that.
She may need 40 tonight for the Lancers to win. She's got all 4.
And she's got it. That's her number. So if she gets her number, they'll be in good shape. She's capable, that's for sure. And the thing is, the Whalers will let her score 40 if no one else contributes. Long 3, no good by Good. And there's Walker with the rebound, and she's going to push 1-on-2. A little stutter step. Tried to find a cutter, instead found Lancaster. And Lancaster turns it over. Underneath, Knowles will draw the foul. She'll go to the line to shoot 2, and Waterford hanging in right now. Get a chance to cut it to 2.
Yeah, I like the way the Lancers are attacking the rim on the backside too, Casey. It's a nice job that time by Knowles. Again, getting in off the baseline, try to attack the rim. Don't rely just on Walker for all your points.
No, because what New London wants to do to you really is they want to put you in like a 45-minute headlock.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They just want to they want to wrap their arm around you and not let go for the entirety of the game.
Sure.
They just want to suffocate you, slow you down, give you a headache. And Waterford's resilient. They'll fight through the they'll fight through the headlock till they're exhausted. But you got to be able to find a little breathing room.
No, that's a good point. That is a good point.
You ever been in a 45-minute headlock, Sports Doctor?
52-year headlock.
That's a good dump down and a shot by Lancaster. She's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I think Lancaster again. You talk about good footwork for a big person down underneath. Lancaster catches high, shoots it high, turns and faces, and get yourself at the free throw line for 2. Fowler's a pretty good player, huh? Dad was a good player.
Actually, I just her dad is not Gary. Mike DeMoro just texted me and who gave me bad information. Corey Lancaster is her mom. Big Gary is her granddad. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. She's a Lancaster, true and blue in the annals of New London High School. So Lancaster gives the Whalers a 5-point lead. Walker pulls up for 3. Back iron, no good. Good box out. Rebound comes to Good. Push in the other direction.
Waterford back on D.
Back iron 3, no good, but there's Lancaster with the follow. Can't get it. Gets her own rebound. Stripped, and Waterford will come out of it. Lombardi will have the ball for the Lancers. Goes with the right hand.
A lot of attention down on Walker. Nice job face guarding that time by Dudley. And then Dudley's got those long arms. So you're going to have to throw it real high, Casey, to have Walker go get it. She face guards. Does a nice job on defense.
Lob up top. Lombardi foregoes the three, drives right. Baseline Frazier. Tried to find Walker. It's on the floor. And I think it'll be on the end line. Yeah, so Dudley went down on the end line to get it. She was on the out-of-bounds line, so it'll be Waterford basketball. Walker, little jumper, no good. That's the one she normally knocks down. Lancaster tips it to Beto, and off the Whalers go.
Thus far in the first 5 minutes of the game, New London owning the boards. One and done for Waterford on the offensive end, and London with some good second chance looks.
And Olivia Good knocks down the triple. And that's the biggest lead of the ball game as the Whalers are up 8. We got a timeout, Waterford, and this timeout is brought to you by Groton City Utilities. As a leader in southeastern Connecticut, we provide essential electric, water, and other services at prices which reflect exceptional customer value and quality. We enhance and support the vitality and livability of the communities we serve. So let me ask you, Sports Doctor, were your utilities solid in this latest blast of winter weather that we had on Saturday?
I did not lose power. I know that. Boy, it was a lot of snow, man. A lot of snow, man. Couple of three-pointers tonight, Casey, for the Whalers. You see Good stepping back. Splash. Nothing but nylon.
So that's two different guards knocking down threes for New London, Beto and Good.
Yeah.
And, when you've got Dudley active inside and Lancaster as a post player, if they're knocking down threes, they become a really difficult team because they're going to turn you over as well.
And it seems like right now those guards have the green light to let it rip, too. You don't see Coach Millsap's telling you bad shot or anything like that. Just let it rip from the corners and let's go to work. You're knocking down threes like that, and the other team is hustling just to get off good shots. That's like turning the basketball over. It's a good recipe right now for success for the Whalers.
That ball goes off of Hathaway's hands, so it'll be the Whaler basketball up 8. And Croft will bring up the ball for New London. Good. Croft frees open, pulls in, gets it blocked, and Lancaster tips it, but it goes to Lombardi. And check that, Frazier will have the ball for New London, out over to Lombardi.
Whalers do a nice job recovering, getting back on D. No fast break opportunities for the Lancers.
Oh, that's a great look from Walker to a cutting Knowles. That is textbook basketball by the Lancers. Dump down, Good with the basketball outside the three-point circle. They swing, and there's a three-pointer in and out, but there's Lancaster with the rebound and the putback. You saw that, kept it high, shoot it high.
Yeah, did not bring the ball down, catch it high, shoot it high. Lancaster paying big dividends. Oh, I like that. That's fundamentals.
Walker goes with the left. Off the glass, it's good. Melina Walker knocks it down. Good, back up top. Croft swings it. 3 guards across the perimeter. Good with an open look for 3. No good off the iron. Rebound Lancers. There's a turnover. Dudley pushes and ends up for Croft. 3-pointer. In, out, bouncing, and what a friendly roll for Zanisha Croft.
Shooter's touch, and then some. 3, Olivia Good. 4th three-pointer tonight for New London. 3 different players with triples.
And there's a step in and a steal. Off to the races, Croft. And she misses the layup, maybe a little bit of interference from Hathaway. And that time, a pass from Frazier that was intended for Walker. Walker thought it was meant to go to Lombardi, and it ended up going into the student section.
What you said. Yes.
So 16-9 in a 9-point lead, right? 17 seconds, 9-point lead. Look for the Whalers to get a last shot here in the first period. The New London boys are here as well tonight, rooting on their fellow classmates. See if we can get an update on Pedro Perry's ankle injury. And that'll take us to the end of the first period. 9-point Whaler lead. Come on back, second quarter action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, we provide solutions to all of your dental needs. Your smile is our top priority. Visit us today at waterforddentalhealth.com and by Core Plus Credit Union. Love the home you're in? Well, borrow based on the finished value of your home before your renovations begin. Apply today at coreplus.org.
Well, a little Serenity now. Serenity Lancaster, Casey, doing work out there. A little catch it. Don't bring the ball on the floor. Square up face and knock it down, says the freshman. Catch it high, shoot it high.
All right, so
sports doctorism right there.
So to be clear, Serenity is Gary's niece. Her mom is Corey, and I apologize to the Lancaster family. You know, I was right. It's not like I didn't graduate high school with Gary in '89.
You're never wrong.
Not like I don't know Corey.
You're never wrong.
I make that mistake, and I
There's your
apologize.
guys
There's
right
the
there.
New London boys and Pedro Perry and crew in the front. But regardless, she's a Lancaster. She plays like a Lancaster. She is fearless under the boards, and she's got the Whalers out to a 9-point lead right now. Her and the three-point shooting of the guards of the Whalers. I missed a step in. Dudley almost got it. That's a great matchup with her and Walker still. There's a cut to Walker. She got a step.
Yep.
Knowles found her and beat Dudley to the spot.
Yep, nice move on the give and go that time. And Walker can score the basketball within 5 feet.
Dudley looking for a screen. Going to swing it around the perimeter. Croft drives. That's a nice move, Zanisha Croft to the basket for a bucket.
A balanced attack for the Whalers, too. It's, not one person scoring all the points. Everybody's points are being distributed.
All the starting five.
Yeah.
There's a three-pointer for Walker, and that's no good, and that's not really her game. Dudley has it out of the pack. She's ahead of the crowd. Lancaster finishes at the other end. Good look from Dudley to Lancaster.
Yep. The run out, the recognition, the delivery for the Whalers. And again, fast break points off the missed three-pointer. Long shots, long rebounds. Let's go.
And I know Walker wants to try to make something happen, but she's at her best near the basket like that right there. Great move,
Yep.
Baseline, got a step on Dudley,
Yeah.
and Melina Walker finishes for Waterford.
I got her unofficially for 10 points for the Lancers. Doing work. And again, get off that three-point line. Use the baseline. Get in. Good stuff.
Up top now with Good. Croft again. Little floater, short. Little running floater. Short. Up ahead and off the fingertips of Frazier out of bounds. It'll go over to New London. Now, right now we've seen 10 players in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to set the over-under for players
At
in this game
12?
at 12.
Okay.
And we're going to get a timeout from New London. Tammy Millsaps wants to talk things over. Let you know that this timeout is brought to you by Groton City Utilities. We enhance and support the vitality and livability of the communities we serve. That's Groton City Utilities.
So this timeout by Coach Millsaps, the last 3 or 4 times down the floor, you hear you yell, swing it, swing it, swing it, move the basketball. So obviously the half-court set's a little bit stagnant for the Whalers, Casey. Coach Millsaps wants to talk things over. Running, not a problem. Catch, rebound, run, will score in transition. But the last 2 or 3 times, ball movement a little bit stagnant for the Whalers. Yeah, and here's the long shot by Walker. Dudley up ahead to Lancaster. Easy 2 at the rim. Whaler basketball in transition.
You know, and I was actually going to be a little critical of Dudley. I thought she held on to it a little too long.
Yeah.
Because Lancaster was ahead of the pack.
Had a step.
But what she did is she got herself in rhythm so she could make a bounce pass so that Lancaster caught it and shot
on time, delivered, yes.
And that way Lancaster didn't have to do the dribbling with the basketball, just the finishing. So that's actually probably a smart play by Dudley. Open three, Croft, back iron. There's Dudley, steals the rebound, but she can't get it to go. Knowles in the other direction for Waterford. Bounce pass, stolen by Dudley. Nalise Dudley pushing for the Whalers. Pocket picked by Frazier. And then the pocket pick of Walker by Croft. Back and forth turnovers here. New London with the basketball. Croft, dump down. Lancaster puts it on the floor and scores.
Yeah, she's a tough matchup down in the block. She knows how to score the basketball, that's for sure. A little sloppy for the Lancers. To clean things up a little bit, limit the turnovers, and get some offensive looks.
And there's a pass, a little too strong. Frazier over the top of Knowles. She had the size advantage on Beto, but pass was a little long.
Isn't that what the London wants you to do, Casey? They want you to turn the basketball over, make the game a little bit ugly, and kind of take advantage of it?
A 1-3-1 zone here for Waterford now. A little switch up. Croft steps into that zone. Can't get the finish. There's Lancaster, but she tips it, and it comes into the hands of Hathaway. Up top, dangerous pass, but Lombardi drives, had a step, can't get it to go. Strong rebound by Croft in the other direction. Dudley, step back, three, long. Waterford try to score in transition now. And ball tipped, and it'll stay with Waterford. Lombardi dumps it down to Knowles, spins, kick back up top. Walker just inside the three-point line, no. And Frazier knocks it out of bounds. It'll turn it over to New London.
Important juncture of the game, 3:52 going into the locker room. Waterford down by 11, Case. Lancers have got to find a way to manufacture some points and keep the Whalers off the glass, because right now the offensive glass, the one's kind of beating them up a little bit.
Oh, Croft, great look, Lancaster. Can't finish, gets her own rebound, puts it back, and that time she gets it done. Tough. Starts with a great look by Croft. Walker, pump fake, spin. Oh, what a beautiful look. Zips it to Lombardi. Melina Walker can do it all.
And that's what happens when you draw the attention. Yeah, you've got all the eyes on you, all bodies on you. Little zip pass. The recognition by Walker.
And that's a ill-advised pass by Dudley. That is not going to make Coach Millsaps happy. And at Waterford will have the basketball. What I like about Tammy Millsaps most.
She ever seem happy?
Well, here's what I like most about her. There is not an inch to be given. She doesn't want to give up a point. Forget that. She doesn't want a turnover. She doesn't want a bad pass. Like she demands the highest level at all times. So in that regard, you know, she wants a perfect basketball game. I love that. That's a level of you know, determination that you want to see in a coach. Walker can't get the turnaround to go. Good with the rebound. Beto with a three. Got it!
That's her third triple of the night. Beto straight on that time.
Walker. Step back, pump fake. Cutting Knowles, no good. She wanted the foul, didn't get it. Croft up ahead to Dudley. Heads to the middle of the floor. Wild shot off the glass is good. Nalise Dudley, wild but rewarded. There's a nice steal by Good. One-on-one with Lombardi. Basket is good, and the foul. It's all good here at the X as Olivia will go to the line for the bonus.
And we talked about that, Casey. It was 26-15 with 3:52 left, and now a 7-0 run has pushed this lead up to 18 points.
And a timeout. Caitlyn Sullivan wants to talk it over for Waterford, and we should let you know that this timeout is brought to you by Groton City Utilities as a leader in southeastern Connecticut, providing essential electric, water, and other services at prices which reflect exceptional customer value and quality. Groton City Utilities. Casey O'Neill, along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, and, you know, not having Mia Chaponi is one thing, but when you have the hands of Olivia Good.
Yep, the run out, 2 at the rim. I mean, I talked about it. 3:52 left to go, Casey, at the half. It was 26-15 at that point. An important juncture to go into the locker room, either, you know, maybe down 7 or 8 within striking distance. 7-0 run has New London has this lead up to 18, and it could be more.
Yeah, and, you know, I would like to see, again, this was a close game when they played first time. You know, Mia Chaponi, it's an extra ball handler, an extra scorer.
I think it hurts.
She's tough as nails.
I think it hurts.
Yeah. She, you know, she's a basketball player, a point guard like her mom. You know, her father was a chucker over at the Jordan School, but her mom was a college basketball player.
He's always been a chucker
at Mitchell College, and you know, that's a tough loss. It's your ball handler, it's your point guard, you know. And right now, Waterford just feels like they are just a tick below. So Good will have the bonus off of her made basket, and the friendly roll goes.
Maybe clean up some of those turnovers, some of those unforced errors. Maybe you're going to get players in different positions where they're more comfortable with a point guard out there distributing the rock.
High screen by Walker. Lombardi all the way to the basket. Can't get it to go. That's a basket she should knock down. He wants that one back. Knowles, Lancaster steps in. Serenity Lancaster off to the races. And it's tipped from behind out of bounds. And it'll stay Whaler basketball. Keani Allgood stepping into the game for the Whalers. There's our first substitution. So you got 2 freshmen on the floor right now for New London.
It is all good, isn't it?
All good right now for the Whalers. So if number 1 passed to number 10, it would be good to all good.
Yeah, all right.
You transition from
I
good
understand, yeah.
to all good.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Dudley drives. Ball was tipped. Goes into the hands of Good. Coach wants her to swing it. Good instead throws up the shot. Coach is not going to like that one. Rebound Hathaway. She wants you to swing it. Screen from Walker. Lombardi kicks to Knowles. Baseline jump shot knocked down Julia Knowles.
Julia Knowles.
2-pointer in the corner.
Under a minute. Good. Croft steps in. Foul line. Jumper roll, no good. Lancaster with the rebound, and she stepped into Walker trying to draw contact, but did not get the foul. Lombardi shut off. Frazier, 3, no good. Nice box out by Walker. Dump down, and there's Dudley stepping in. Dudley again. That's back-to-back tips. And Elise Dudley, she's off to the races, and she's going to be fouled by Frazier as she gets to the basket, and that'll send Elise Dudley to the line to shoot 2 with a 17-point lead.
It's tough to pass the ball through those long arms of Dudley, huh? There's that headlock defense you talked about, right? Just kind of keeping you right there and in check, and you know Dudley gets herself at the line too.
And just a little strong on that one. She'll have one more. Second one is good. 18-point Whaler lead.
9-2 run. Push this lead to 18.
And there's another step in. Dudley can't get it before it goes out of bounds, but at least Dudley, quick hands. She's starting to jump the high screens that they're setting on Walker. And high pass over the head lands in Walker's hands, and Melina Walker just decides to bury the 10-footer instead. 5 seconds remaining. Croft, she's going to walk with it. So Waterford will have 2.6 to try to get off a shot here to end the first half. Knowles doesn't have anything. Long pass, and there's a step in. Lancaster at the buzzer, too strong. We're at halftime. A 16-point New London lead, and the sports doctor is going to have New London head coach Tammy Millsaps get her impressions of the first half.
All right, Coach, you guys pushed a 11-point lead up to 16 going into the locker room, a little 8-2 run. Were you happy with the defense in those last 4 minutes?
Absolutely happy with our defense. I think that's the one thing that's going to help us move forward. We're thinking about playoffs. That's our mindset. As a team, our whole mindset is what is going to put us in a position to go deep in the playoffs. Defense, defense, defense.
All right, now what do you guys need to talk about here in the second half to clean things up to close this game out?
Don't get complacent. Sometimes you come out in the second half and you're concerned about your own points. You're concerned about relaxing on defense. We got to keep our foot on their necks, keep playing.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Case?
Thank you, Sports Doctor. A 16-point lead here for New London at halftime. Well, the Elise Dudley, does a little bit of everything, and she's been a focal point here for New London, leading them to that 16-point lead. And she's been guarding Melina Walker all night long. Melina Walker, part of the first family of Waterford High School athletics, does a little bit of everything for the Lancers. Let's get to know her a little bit more, and we'll be back on the other side at halftime.
Growing up in such an athletic family, you're constantly surrounded by competitiveness and wanting to win and watching your cousins play at the high school level, and I've always wanted to just be like them, and I wanted to kind of take on the name myself and prove that I'm worthy.
So Cassie is a college pitcher. Marissa's name is up on the wall. Your dad's in the majors.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to bed at night worried that you might not be able to live up to those expectations?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of pressure. I definitely hold myself to a very high standard, and when I don't meet the expectations that I have of myself, I'm my biggest critic, and I definitely get down on myself sometimes when I shouldn't, but I have to realize that I'm capable of doing these things that everyone else in my family has.
If there is, she's never shown it. She handles it so well. She handles the pressure very well. She does a great, great job. We talk a lot about that, about her composure on the court and how you don't know if she's having the best game of her life or if she is having the worst game of her life, because she is always straight-faced, calm, cool, collected, helps maintain her teammates. Phenomenal leader just by being almost that quiet, calm presence on the court. These girls have played together since they were in 7th grade. They have a great relationship both on and off the court.
Everyone is there to pick each other up when you're down. They're there to push you to your max and expect nothing less. And I think that the chemistry of the girls, because we've been playing together for so long, and we're all so close friends, that it's such a fun environment to be a part of.
Just by stepping on the court, she brings so much confidence. When she is on the floor, our girls feel more confident. They feel ready to play. They feel like they can beat anybody, and it helps our team be better.
Hi, my name is Drago, and I play field hockey at Stonington High School. It was actually a coincidence. I decided that I wanted to play a fall sport, and a few days before the fall season started, I decided that field hockey was going to be the sport I was going to try. I think Coach Jenna does a great job at building players, and you can definitely join as a freshman even if you have never played before, and I think that that's what's great about the program. She's a great coach on and off the field. Definitely puts learning the sport first before winning and being comfortable as a player and things like that, and I definitely think that she has a great knowledge of the game, which really helps. It's definitely those wins that are really close. I can remember I think it was the quarterfinal game that we were playing at home, and it was overtime, and that was our first overtime win this year that we had, and everyone was so excited when we pulled off the overtime win. Definitely pasta dinners before every single game. They're we all run off the field to get there as soon as possible to each other's houses. My sophomore year math teacher, Miss Gothier, who then I later had for computer science classes, who helped me understand that that's something I really want to do in the future. Definitely want to go to college and study computer science and also Spanish, and I want to do that by also studying abroad to help me with the Spanish. And I think I definitely want to play a club sport or possibly intramurals.
My name is Nikki Han. I'm a swimmer from East Lyme High School. It's a little bit of a funny story. Swimming at the very beginning was recommended to my brother, and I kind of tagged along. And I've tried a lot of sports, but it's been the only one that I've stuck with for this long. I have to thank my parents for keeping me going and my coaches. It's kind of an individual sport, but also sort of a team sport. So you're working to improve yourself, but you have a team supporting you and your coaches, of course. So I think having the constant support of really good friends and really good coaches has kept me going. The team support being so important is part of what made last year so much harder to be motivated, because there's nothing like having all of your teammates and your coaches lined up on the edge of the pool just screaming for you and cheering you on, and they're all waving at you, trying to get you to, go as hard as you can. I don't think there's anything that can be as motivating as knowing you have that many people behind you and wanting you to succeed. There's a lot of funny memories of things that my coaches said, especially from our trip to California freshman year. We love to quote our coach at each other all the time. At our senior night, they ask us all for a favorite quote, and it's almost always from our coach because he's the funniest guy. And then I think this year one of my favorite and lasting memories is going to be after ECCs, me and all the other seniors, we're very sentimental people, and we all had a good cry together. I'm going to at least try to continue swimming. I think depending on the school that I go to, I think even if I go to a school where I wasn't fast enough to get recruited, I'd still like to try to walk on maybe, because I think, as hard as it can be sometimes with everyday practices and everything, and in college it's multiple times a day and everything, I think without the structure and the team, I think I'll miss it. I think it'll be a little too different. So I'm definitely planning to continue that. And then in terms of academics, right now I've settled on I'm going to pursue the arts. I'm going to, I think, try to make a career in the animation industry.
I grew up in London. It's been about basically my whole life. I grew up watching my sister play. My sister played here. Her name's Shanae Strong. She played basketball. She played softball. My sister Dair, she played softball. She was pretty good at it. I know Jada India, they went off to college. I was watching them. I know Rosalie Nicholson, she went to Hofstra. I know a couple of the girls that are in college, I was watching them grow as a player. Well, my first year, it wasn't a good experience for me, so I decided to move to a prep school because their basketball program was somewhat better. So I moved there, and as well for academics, because they had a smaller classroom setting. Then when I hit Putnam, it was like a whole different environment. Like the people there, they were welcoming, but I was kind of used to being in New London and their way of welcoming, so I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous. I didn't know how to interact with people as I knew how to do it here. So it was tough, but I got used to it. My first year when I reclassified, we lost the last game of the championship. That's how far we made it when I was there. My second year playing there, we went through 3 different coaches. I would get playing time, but it's not as much as when I came back and got playing time here with Coach Millsaps.
Kids go from high school to prep school.
Yeah.
Very rarely prep school to high school. How difficult of a decision was it for you?
It was actually really difficult. I was determined to stay at the prep school, but my parents, my sisters, Coach Millsaps was reaching out to me nonstop, just saying how good of a coach she is and what she can produce for me as I'm getting older, moving on to college. I'm doing good here, but when I was at prep, I think I did way better. I don't know if it's because me being a senior, because I would have been a junior if I was still at prep school. I don't know if me being a senior now, everything's just hitting me now with college and stuff. So I'm just not playing my game the way I usually play. But I think I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into a rhythm as the season moves forward.
We are back here at halftime. 16-point lead for New London over the Waterford High School Lancers, and they've been doing a little bit of everything, has New London, especially turning up that defense we talked about, and those 3 guards led by Zanisha Croft here have been very challenging for Waterford.
Yeah, I mean, Croft has paid big dividends out there for Coach Millsaps, and she's part of the mix, part of that 3-guard system that Millsaps has got going on. And she talked about not letting off the gas pedal in the second half, not being complacent, coming out of the locker room with a 16-point lead.
Well, if her team matches her intensity, that's good luck. We'll see what they do here in the first possession of the second half. Beto drives, and we're going to get a foul away from the ball. Excuse me, away from the basket, rather, on the ball, so it'll be underneath the basket.
A loose change on the outside by Frazier there.
Yeah, a little bump, preventing. Long pass, Dudley with the good hands.
Oh, nickel dimer.
Dudley, step back, straightaway 3, short, and out of bounds it goes. Turnover, Waterford ball.
Had a look from the coach. Look at the coach staring at her. Look at that look. Oh, my goodness gracious. That won't get you a yelled at, maybe, but it'll get you a look for 64 feet down the court.
I thought she was going to lock you down in the interview.
Oh, boy.
Dudley, and over the front court it goes, and now in the hands of Croft. Croft, Dudley at the foul line and looking for a high to cutting good, didn't see her.
Got Lancaster in the post. You might want to give her the rock and see if she can go to work against Walker.
Yeah, they had multiple looks that time.
Yeah.
Dudley just didn't see either of them, and it's there.
Give her the reward, yeah.
Going to be patient now, run a set. Like Coach said, it's all about the states right now. It's all about playoffs. So they're trying to make themselves better. New London, because of the added enrollment from the Science and Technology School, they're going to be competing in double L.
Yeah.
That is a tough one. So this is about step back 3, splash, Zanisha Croft for the triple.
They come off that high screen, says Croft, and no thinking. Sports doctor type of play, just catch and shoot and let it rip.
If the guards are going to shoot like that.
Then you're going to run out here on defense.
Yep, Dudley stepped in one-on-one with Walker, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's the one thing you like about Dudley. She's a big, but she's active in the passing lane, active with the hands, jumps out, kind of contests everything, and she finds herself in the open floor. Both Lancaster and Dudley, long, get it, jump out in the passing lanes.
Yeah. So, Sports Doctor, today is a very important day in history. You want to guess what today is? I'll let you off the hook. Right now in Florida, the biggest game day fan out there
your mom
is sitting at dinner on her birthday.
Oh, it's your mom's birthday
listening
today.
To Game Day. So from all of us here at Game Day, happy birthday, Kathy Reset, down in Florida right now. She said I said may your day be filled with good cards and short putts.
That's it. It's perfect, isn't it?
And ironically, she worked at both New London and Waterford High Schools.
Yeah.
Made a big impression and changed the lives of a lot of kids in both communities. So an appropriate game. She's, of course, tuning in. All her friends in Florida are with her at dinner right now. So happy birthday, Mom. 20-point New London lead, but there's a good look underneath and a finish by Hathaway. And Waterford really does a good job finding those cutters.
Yep. It was Hathaway. Saw Knowles a couple times on a cut. You've seen Walker on the block. And again, just got to deliver the basketball. This is a good matchup right here.
Lancaster, that's good defense from Walker. And you can see Walker coming out in the second half, little chip on her shoulder too. She wants to try to, do a little bit more, which is hard because she does a lot already.
Oh, that was a double dribble there. That was a frowned upon, Lombardi. It's cheating. You can't dribble with both hands.
Maybe you should be. Maybe you should be allowed to.
Yeah. I may have done it a time or two.
Only to get it into shooting position. Yeah. Oh, that's a great look to Lancaster. She can't finish. She was defended by Walker, but Lancaster wants that one back.
Those kids from Parashel played tough D. I had to do what I could do.
I've heard the Parashel, yeah. Oh, there's Melina Walker. Step back, drills it right in Dudley's face. That's her game right there. That step back 15-footer.
Yep, 12, 13, 14 feet, Casey, from the foul line. Knock it down. Catch and shoot.
High pass, Dudley got it. That was a dangerous one, too, into the traffic.
Yeah, I think, Coach Millsaps right now is, very intensely saying move the basketball. I think that's her biggest concern with this team in a half-court set. Again, when they start to pound the basketball, bad things happen. When they move it and it flows, you find open people on the block and you find three-point shots. And just like that, she calls a timeout up by 16.
I knew she was calling a timeout because she was almost to the foul line herself. So it's either call a timeout or get a technical. I was pretty sure it was a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Groton City Utilities. We enhance and support the vitality and livability of the communities we serve, providing essential services at prices which reflect customer value and quality. Groton City Utilities.
How would you like the responsibility of being the get-back coach? Coach Millsaps. You know what I'm saying? The get-back coach? Get back.
No, thank you.
No,
thank you. Coach Millsaps looks not only
They'll pay you double on road games. How's that?
Not only like she could play right now, I'm telling you, she could lock down. She could lock the sports doctor right down.
Yeah, that's it. I've lost a step or two in my day.
Well, which is tough because you only had 3 or 4 steps to start with. So 4:53, 16-point lead. We're right back to where we were going into halftime.
Yeah, Waterford's played well. Walker's brought the energy, and like I said, cutting Knowles and a cutting Lombardi, and just like that, they're trying to hold their own.
Good out of the pack for New London, pushing. Tries to feed Lancaster. Instead, it gets tipped into Dudley's hands, and it'll be a tie-up, and possession arrow will favor Waterford.
I think the one thing that's got to kind of bother Coach Millsap is the sloppy play. If they're playing crisp and shots aren't falling, she could probably live with that. But the sloppy play, the turnovers, the passes, into down by the ankles and stuff like that, just unforced errors.
Walker, pump fake, fixes her body, can't get it to go. Lancaster with the rebound. Dump down to Dudley, spins, little Kevin McHale action, can't get it to go, and out of the pack. Frazier will give it up. Now Lombardi in the other direction. Walker, this time she squares up for the 3 and can't get it to go. Lancaster tips it and Croft pushes for the Whalers. Open look. 3-pointer for good. Back iron. A little too strong. Lancaster, though, tracks down the long rebound. New London trying to run a better offensive set this time.
Yeah.
Waterford in a tight man that they've been playing much better here in the second half. And Beto's going to get to the basket. She's going to be fouled away from the basket. So it'll be on the floor, and it'll be Whaler ball.
I heard from the coach, Courtney Gomez, during the first half. She said, both Walker and Dudley are my 2 favorite players in the ACC. Walker, my pick for player of the year.
Well, there's a rebound by Dudley. Basket good, and the foul right on cue. Nulise Dudley says, thanks, Coach Gomez. Here I go to the line. I think Walker is definitely, player of the year candidate. I think she's asked to do more. I've talked about this with Peter Wappy beforehand, and I think she's asked to do more. We agreed on that.
Sure.
Whereas, Dudley's not asked to do it much.
She's got some compliments around her. Yeah.
Bacon Academy, who I think is the premier team in the league, they've got like 4 or 5 different players.
Yeah.
Marissa Nudd's a great young player, but she's only a sophomore. They've got a spread out between guards, and they got Emma Mancuso, and they got a lot of pieces at Bacon. So I think Walker is really the player right now who has emerged in my mind as the player of the year. But there's some really great players all around the league.
Saw Courtney Gomez the other night after the St. Bernard's NFA game.
Bedeau splash.
Talked to her a little bit about NFA struggles this year at 1-13, 1-14. Hardest year she's ever had in basketball, she said, as a player, as a coach.
Well, it's hard. I mean, we gave her such accolades and praise, well-deserved, coming in for the legendary Bill Scarlatta.
Yeah.
Took that team right over, led them to an unbelievable year, state championship level year, and then the talent left, and she's in this,
They're going to be all right.
Well,
they're going to be fine, though.
Yeah,
they're going to be okay. I'm not, listen.
She had a reboot year, where the talent, it just happens, We got a Groton City Utilities timeout as a leader in southeastern Connecticut, providing essential electric, water, other services at prices reflecting exceptional customer value and quality. Groton City Utilities.
She's a tremendous basketball coach.
Courtney Gomez?
Very good. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
Be
very good basketball.
I would recommend her to anybody. I mean, absolutely.
Good player back in the day too.
And then, I'm going to go out and say this is good for her.
She won't tell you that.
No, of course not.
Oh, my
But
God.
This is good for her because I think she's going to be coaching for a long time. And I think.
So you think it's good to swallow a 1 in 15, 1 in 18 type of year?
I think it's good to remember. I think it's good to appreciate what you have. Remember how fleeting it can be. And for her this year, she's probably done some of her best coaching this year. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
She said, I can do good coaching at 15-1, but but she's an excellent she's an excellent coach, and that ship will get righted very quickly. We had a substitution during the timeout, and then so we're going to get Lancaster back on the floor. All good is going to check in for her.
So we've seen 11 players. Is that correct?
That is
correct. Waterford is not subbed tonight.
They have not.
They have not. No, Waterford is not subbed.
And if Mia Traponi was here, they would have subbed once.
So we've seen 11 players. The over-under was 12.
That is correct. Croft kicks it. Now good around the perimeter.
So listen, all bets are off on the over-under with 30-point lead with 4 minutes to go.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
The over-under becomes void at that point.
Yes, it does.
Good. Drives. A little too strong, but there's Dudley with the cleanup, and it's tipped away from her. Lombardi with the basketball.
Great job by Dudley on defense with Walker, just denying the basketball.
And there's a step in right
back
there.
at it, yeah.
Got a piece. Croft comes out of the pack with it for the Whalers. Little Euro step, gets her own tip. It was tipped by Waterford, back to her, and she puts it in.
Talk about that defense for a second. Dudley trails Walker. The pass goes in. She undercuts the pass. I mean, she's got a – first of all, she knows where Walker is at all times. She's got her hands on her. She's kind of guiding her a little bit. She's not letting loose of her. You can't let loose of the scorer, that's for sure.
Italia Saul's into the game along with Kiani Algood. So
because you're over.
So now we're up to 12 players. Thank you very much.
All right. But you know what I'm saying about the defense? Just not losing track of Walker, and then, she kind of trails her and then jumps underneath and steals the basketball. Yeah. Dudley's a good player. Dudley's impressed me a lot tonight.
Yeah, she's a very good player. Only a junior. Her and Lancaster next year, if they can find some guard play, they're going to be a lot of difficult people.
Listen, anybody can score on the offensive end. You know that. But when you play good defense and you work your tail off on a defensive end and play both ends of the floor, that's what makes you the complete basketball player. And you're starting to see a little bit of that in Dudley and the size up front. And, I'm sure Coach Millsaps wants to wear that off on Lancaster as well. That same work ethic. Defensive end, block shots, don't lose track of your opponent, and then offensive end too.
Anyone who watched me play basketball will dispute the notion that anybody can score on the offensive end. Just to let you know. 2 free throws by Lombardi, knocks them both down. Good. No good. But there's Dudley. Rebound, spin. Thought she drew the foul, and instead we're going to get a foul. Reach in looks going to be on all good.
Well, Dudley's just going to settle herself a little bit. It's a little too rushed with that shot. Work on your footwork, and he'll cash it in.
Foul's on Dudley, her second. 20-point Whaler lead. Walker with a mismatch. Throws it away. There comes Dudley ahead of the pack with everyone. And a great job on defense. Lombardi reached in, slapped it off her knee. Turnover, Lancer ball. Had a chance at halftime to talk with New London basketball player Rodia Pedro Perry. Said he's back full minutes tomorrow night in their big showdown with St. Bernard's.
That's a big game.
Big game. So he's back full time. He played a little bit against Hill House, and he said he's full minutes tomorrow night, full throttle. Up ahead, Frazier. Layup is good, and Waterford still scrapping here. Under a minute remaining in the period number 3. Dudley hangs in the air, can't get it to go, and Walker pulls down the rebound. Good job on the glass by Waterford these last couple of trips. Lombardi tried to sneak a pass into Knowles. Probably should have shot it herself.
Yeah, he had a late footer there.
Croft threw all the pack to cutting Dudley. What a look! Zanisha Croft, Nalise Dudley, beautiful Whaler basketball. Walker off the tip from Dudley gets it to go. And New London will have the last shot here of period number 3. Dudley Can't get it to go. Gets her own rebound. Can't get it to go. And we are at the end of 3 quarters. The lead is now 18. It was 16. Come on back for fourth quarter action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more.
Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, we provide solutions to all of your dental needs. Your smile is our top priority. Visit us today at waterforddentalhealth.com and by Core Plus Credit Union. Love the home you're in? Well, borrow based on the finished value of your home before your renovations begin. Apply today at coreplus.org.
Well, you talk about the junior, Dudley, just doing work here on the offensive end at the glass for 2. Little thread the needle pass to catch it and shoot it and send it in. And, Dudley's impressed me. Again, the guards kind of make this team go, but they're big people. Lancaster coming up as a freshman and Dudley. They're both long. They're both active on the defensive end. And, Dudley's a polished player as a junior right now.
Well, this is our week of girls basketball. We have a Friday night as Bacon Academy in a rematch with a wildly and hotly contested game with Ledyard earlier in the season. That's going to be the rematch at Ledyard on Friday night. So the gym at Ledyard should be fired up for a matchup with Bacon, who is the class of the ECC girls. Good, too strong, and she's on the end line off the tip. It'll be Waterford ball.
And next time out, I'll get you a little thoughts on some of the games from yesterday too.
Walker pulls up, straightaway 3, a little strong, good rebound, Frazier. Walker steps in, can't get that one to go. Knowles gets the rebound, and Knowles and Lancaster are tied up. Good sportsmanship right there from Serenity Lancaster as she helps up Julia Knowles. It'll stay here, Waterford ball. Ball tipped around. Knowles comes out with it. Now she decides to drive. Blocked by Lancaster.
Big time block. Casey, Coach Millsaps talked about at halftime about the state level play. Can New London make a deep run with the small rotation they have?
No.
Okay. Well, you didn't take too long to answer that. Do you think teams could wear them down?
I think that inevitably,
in a double L.
Inevitably in a tournament format where you have to win 5 games, as Croft knocks it down, their 5 have the talent to play, but they're not going to be able to play 5 or even 6 because someone's going to get in foul trouble.
Right.
Someone's going to, roll an ankle. So inevitably in tournament play, you need to be able to play at least 7. You can get away with, this group of 5. I look forward to seeing them, but double L is loaded as Lancaster cleans up the miss. Double L is loaded, and New London is a very good team, and I wouldn't want to play them, especially in the first couple of games when they're fresh. But the tournament format, as Lancaster blocks that shot by Walker, and out of the pack comes Beto. But in a tournament, you're going to have to get lucky once. You're going to have to overcome playing lousy, because that happens inevitably. You play lousy one game. And you're going to have to overcome something like foul trouble.
Well, the lucky thing, remember a couple years ago in New London with was that Rosie Nichols that put back underneath the basket for the win? Remember that a couple years ago?
And the reverse of that, when we talk about overcoming stuff, the game where Waterford boys against Prince Tech.
Yeah.
Mikey on the bench with foul trouble. And, they were able to overcome that. And that's what you're going to have to be able to do. Walker with the basket, and she'll go to the line. Melina Walker still battling for the Lancers.
A hoop in a harm.
But you're going to have to be able to overcome things like that. So New London's got it. So if she wants to make a run to the playoffs, she should be thinking about how she's going to expand a little bit. She's gone 7 deep tonight, but not really.
I think it's going to be in spots, too, though. It's going to be in spots.
Until you need 5 minutes, though. You're going to need
You're going to yeah.
You get what happens if Croft gets a charge and a reach and has 3 fouls in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And she's got to sit for a half. Someone's going to have to play minutes.
That's a good point. Yeah. That was a good question. It was a even better answer.
So, but I think that talent-wise, they're going to make some teams miserable. But It's really difficult to make, especially in double L. I mean, they're going to be going up against, buzzsaws. Dudley, high post.
Burn a little clock right here.
Kick out 3, strong from Sauls. The Waterford ball. Friday night's tip-off in Ledyard, a 6 p.m. tip-off.
Oh, boy.
A little early. Sports Doctor's going to have to get on his horse.
I got to hustle. Dicey weather maybe for Friday.
Walker finds a cutting Hathaway, and then the put back by Walker. No quit in the Lancers.
No. Down 17.
Croft gets a screen. Now Dudley. Whalers taking a little bit of air out of the ball right now.
You would chop and go 4 corners right now.
Absolutely, go weave.
Yeah.
In the corner. 3 is strong.
I don't think coach doesn't mind that shot by Sauls. Again, you talk about some of your bench players, getting comfortable on the court and maybe knocking down some shots. This is the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Get a little confidence, knock one down.
Lombardi kicks out. Walker hounded by Dudley. Knowles over the top of Lancaster, blocked that one as well. Sauls with the rebound, and Croft will push. Croft, beautiful look, but Lancaster couldn't quite get the handle. There's Dudley. She can't get it to go, and finally it gets into the hands of Hathaway. Missed opportunity that time for New London. And you got a timeout, Waterford. Timeout. Caitlyn Sullivan, and this timeout brought to you by Groton City Utilities. As a leader in southeastern Connecticut, they enhance and support the vitality and livability of the communities they serve. It's Groton City Utilities.
Oh, I tell you what, we come off of Monday and watched the games yesterday real quick. We'll talk about that if you want a chance. Joe Burrow got a little moxie in him for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, great games. I think this has been as good a run of playoff games as we've seen in a lot of years.
I mean, the last 2 weekends, right?
Every game's been close. I think we saw the following. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes is a magician. And is every bit as good as advertised. Joe Burrow is another great young quarterback in the AFC. Jimmy Garoppolo is the definition of average.
Yes.
And Matt Stafford is better than that, but in between those, and he's going to have to play better to win.
He's got the luxury of some really good players around him. How good is Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp's amazing. Yeah. He's got Beckham. He's got all kinds of guys. So right now, because this is as long as we're going to spend talking about the NFL, Super Bowl winner rough score.
I like Cincinnati. I like San Fran coming into the whole thing 3 weeks ago, but I'll take Cincinnati 31-27.
Cincinnati has not seen a defense like the Rams. Aaron Donald will introduce himself all day long. Joe Burrow and the home team will win the Super Bowl for the second consecutive year.
All right, there you go. That's a great looking stadium, too, isn't it?
Sorry, beautiful.
Oh, my God.
17-point Whaler lead. Waterford basketball. Dumped down. Walker. Tied up by Dudley. That's great defense. Again, Nalise Dudley has been just brutal all day. She has been inside of Walker's passing lanes.
Well, that's what
game.
It is. It's get on your hip, get in front of her, make her feel uncomfortable. And whenever Walker shows the basketball, Dudley's all over it.
Croft pulls up at the elbow. Can't get it to go. Now Walker, baseline, that's her spot. And she's a little strong. Good rebound by Lancaster.
Well, New London has owned the boards tonight.
Dudley in the corner. Lancaster wants the ball. Instead, they swing it to the perimeter. Down under 3 minutes remaining. Second half been played essentially even at this point. Jump shot strong. Rebound Waterford. I'll be interested, Sports Doctor, after Friday night to get your impressions of Bacon Academy, having just seen New London, because they're emerging as the two teams in the ECC. Bacon has not had any problems with anybody, and they've got a huge showdown tomorrow night. Wednesday night they play Ram, who is ranked in the state. So
sure,
that'll be a good one. So I'll be curious to see your impressions after having seen New London. Get a chance to see Bacon and see what you think about those two teams after Friday night. Hathaway knocks down the first. She'll have one more. I really think it'll be difficult for anyone to beat New London or Bacon heading into the ECC.
Right. I'll tell you, I will compare this New London team to past New London teams. They're a lot more balanced. Is that, there's not one player out there doing it. All three guards can score.
Yep.
Their two big people are very good down low. This starting five is extremely well balanced. They don't lead on one player, as to maybe in the past New London has looked for, a couple of, whether it was Jada or Rosie or, India or the Pagan girls. I mean, this five is just, they spread it very well.
I think they shoot it better than some of the New London teams. I mean, Jada could really fill it up, and Rose, the individual players, Cora Sawyer could shoot it, but I think this is as good a team as I think I've seen shooting it. Hathaway with a nice move in the basket for Waterford, so they've got it down to 13.
Yep.
Made a little dent here in the fourth period. Good, just back into the ball game. Will go to the line and shoot two. Olivia Good on the running left-hander got fouled, so Hathaway got her arm and she'll shoot two. First one is up and it is good. I think you make a good point. Now that New London team that won the state championship with Pagan, with the Pagan sisters and Lucas and Spencer Roman. That team was loaded, and they did not.
Sheree Osborne too back in the day.
Yeah, but that team they had no weaknesses anyway.
Right.
This team, I don't know if they're as good as that, but I like your balanced comment. I think they are.
They don't have that one player that just kind of jumps off the chart and says, "This is our bread and butter. This is our go-to." They've got 5 kids that can spread the floor, and all of them could score.
1:40 remaining. Of course, at the end of this ball game, we will go to break, and when we come back from break, we will have the sports doctor with the winning coach, as well as the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. And I think it's shaping up right now to be a post-game Whaler celebration, and I think we're zoning in on the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. And then, of course, Friday night, you want to join us at 6 o'clock as we'll be at Ledyard High School for the Bacon Academy Bobcats and the Ledyard Colonels. And then we got then we'll start the final push to the ECC tournament. Hard to believe, but we're heading into February as of tomorrow.
Crazy. I mean, first of all, it seems like January is 73 days long.
It really does.
And then what's your reward for January?
February.
Which is another 140 days long.
Fortunately, it's 28 days that feel like 128 days, 100%. Yeah. And you sit there and you go a week and you go, hey, the weather hasn't been bad, and then you get hit with 2 feet of snow. And it's gonna be 50 degrees. It's gonna be 50 degrees on Thursday, but the wacky winter of Connecticut.
That is New England, isn't it?
Yep, 2 feet of snow and 50 degrees, same within a week.
Short timer's eyeing something a little different for himself in the winter pretty soon.
You got that right. There'll be some visits down to the villages in
Florida. Yeah. I'm going to have a lot of fun with you during the month of February calling you short timer, too.
Well,
that's a good term. That's not. I'm not trying to be facetious when I say that. I'm just saying.
Well, what'll be interesting is how you treat me after April 1st when I have a healthy glow going about. Lombardi, nice look. Walker with the rebound, and she'll go to the line and shoot two. Melina Walker stole the rebound and got fouled. And quietly, though it's only a minute 17 left, Waterford has kind of hung around.
Hanging around, yeah.
And they cut into this. It's a 14-point lead, which is only 2 off of halftime, so they've actually won the second half, but they've gone back and forth.
Keith talked about the rebounding deficit, and I think the thing you notice out there is Melina Walker is Waterford's best rebounder, but she's having to step out and shoot the ball. You can't be your
no doubt.
You can't be your team's best scorer and best rebounder at the same time.
Well, big shoulders. She's had to do an awful lot, especially with Chaponi out of the game.
Yeah, and I said, Walker's so polished. She really is. I mean, she is an incredibly sound player, but every time she goes away from the basket, it takes away from the thing that she does that does well. Kick out. Good. We'll give it over to Dudley. Now we're down under a minute here with a 12-point New London lead. I think New London will be happy just kind of putting this thing to bed.
Yeah, comes that chop weave, right?
High screen from Dudley. 3-pointer short from Beto, and a rebound comes down to Frazier. Now Lombardi with the basketball for Waterford. Baseline. Walker. And Dudley reached in and tied her up. Great hands from Nelise Dudley. Possession arrow favors Waterford. Knowles finds a cutting Lombardi. High off the glass, no good. Look at that rebound by Dudley. She's off to the races. Nelise Dudley, and she traveled. She took that extra step. Got to get that ball up with 24 seconds remaining.
See, now, if that was the boys' game, this would be a Euro step, would it not be? I mean, we see these guys all the time walking all over the floor.
I agree.
That was no different than what you see anywhere else. That was a good move to the basket.
Beto with a steal, spin, and finishes a final punctuation mark on a really good effort tonight from the New London Whalers. They're going to win this one here at the X as we're counting down under 5. Walker will get one last 3-pointer at the buzzer, and it's short. A 54-40 victory for New London. We will be back with post-game interviews with the coach, Tammy Millsaps, and the player of the game right after this. Come on back. You're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, we provide solutions to all of your dental needs. Your smile is our top priority. Visit us today at waterforddentalhealth.com and by Core Plus Credit Union. Love the home you're in? Well, borrow based on the finished value of your home before your renovations begin. Apply today at coreplus.org. The Day is committed to giving our readers the best in sports coverage. Our staff dedicates itself to the in-depth stories, photos, columns, and video content our readers know and trust. Subscribe today to receive full access to all our coverage. theday.com/subscribe.
A 14-point Whaler victory. The Sports Doctor is with head coach Tammy Millsaps and the Waterford Dental Health player of the game. Sports Doctor.
Well, Coach, you guys came out here tonight on the road and got a hard-fought victory against a good Waterford team. You know, they beat you beat them by 6 in the beginning of the year. You guys got the best of them tonight. What did you see about your team tonight that you liked?
I just loved our resiliency. I thought we played really well in the first half defensively. We talked about in the locker room, we talked about 3 things. We talked about not being selfish, we talked about not being complacent, and we talked about looking for one another on our offense. So I thought we did a solid job of really sealing the win in the second half.
Now, the team effort, it's not a one-man show out there. You've got 3 guards contributing, you got 2 bigs contributing. You feel your team has got a good balanced attack out there on the offensive end? I
do. I think you know when you have a good balance this way. If you have a post player who's not playing well, your guards can pick it up. You have a guard who is not playing well, your posts pick up. So if you have some balance on both ends of the guard and the post, you can win some games. I think we did a solid job of that tonight.
Right. Now, tomorrow's going to be February 1st, and you're starting to roll down the end of the season. You talked previously about, state tournament play, postseason play. Can this team be better?
Absolutely, we can do better. And there's some things that we're definitely going to work on today. That's defending in the post. That's getting out in transition, running our wings and get some easy layups. It's definitely, you can always improve. You can't find 5 or 6 things I think I've learned in coaching. You can pick on 1 or 2 things that you really can work on in practice and really focus and emphasize that the kids can make those differences.
All right, good luck the rest of the way, Coach. Our Waterford Dental Health Player of the game is Elise Dudley, and boy, what a big-time game out there. And, you know, what did Coach talk about coming into this game tonight?
She knew that it was going to be hard coming into this game, especially number 40. She's a great ball player. We just knew that we had to outwork her and know where she's at all times.
Right, now what makes this team go? What makes it go so good? Is it play on a defensive end? Is it the offensive end? Or is it a little bit of everything?
It's a little bit of everything, mainly scoring and stuff like that. Defense coming up together, and that just starts making our adrenaline go.
Right. How good can this team be down the stretch?
Oh, we're going to go far, very far, rising up to the top.
All right, great job tonight. Big win. Elise Dudley, our Waterford Dental Health Player of the game.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. 54-40, your final here at the X. The Whalers off and running, and we will see you Friday night at Ledyard High School as the Bacon Academy Bobcats, the other premier team in the ECC, will have a chance to show themselves against the Ledyard High School Colonels. We're going to wrap it up here at the X. For Peter Wappy and the crew, for the Sports Doctor, Keith O'Brien, I am Casey O'Neill. Happy birthday, Mom. Good night, everybody.